Hey, I wanted to share my thoughts on boundaries because I know that this is a big issue for people who have been involved with narcissists, because narcissists have no boundaries, so they will make it so that you have no boundaries. And basically what boundaries are, this is what I learned from Teal Swan. It's actually not something outside of you. A boundary is what you tell yourself that you're willing to do or not do. So if someone says, I want you to make this for dinner, but you don't actually want to eat that for dinner, and you do it anyway, the boundary is actually not with the other person. The boundary is that you agreed to do what they wanted. It's within yourself that you didn't set the boundary. Now, obviously as children, it was unsafe or impossible for us to have boundaries because we were dependent on the other person for our safety and our survival. So that's where the concept of boundaries doesn't really work, when you are dependent on someone else. But now that you're an adult, you can have these boundaries with yourself of what you can and cannot do, or what you're willing or not willing to do. And okay, so what I was thinking about was how I perceive boundaries to be cruel. Like when I would say no to someone, I would like see them get upset, right? And then I would feel like I was cruel for having caused that person pain. So what I've seen is that narcs perceive that you don't have needs. So if you say no to them, they have no explanation for why you would say no other than the fact that you're being cruel. So narcs will respond to you setting a boundary by looking at you like you're a monster. And that's how you get that programming that if I don't do what other people want, I'm a bad person. So they treat you setting a boundary because of your needs like cruelty. They see it as the same thing. But now I'm getting clear with myself that cruelty is torture, violence, abuse, and evil. That's choosing to inflict pain upon another for no purpose. A boundary is unavoidable because you have to meet your own needs in order to be a happy person. And cruelty is a choice. So setting a boundary to meet your own needs and hurting someone else out of cruelty are not the same thing. Normal people will see that you have needs, so that if you say no to something, they will understand that you have your own needs and you're not saying no to inflict cruelty upon them. And just this concept has helped me so much, because I've felt like I've been such a mean person every time I've said no to something. But it's like, it's actually unavoidable to have what I guess is called like a boundary conflict. Like for example, your friend wants you to go to the movies with her, but you just really want to stay home and like have a bath and read a book. Like that's a boundary conflict. And you know, sometimes you do what the other person wants. If, I don't know, maybe if you don't really care that much either way. But part of recovering from narcissistic abuse is, first of all, even learning to know what it is that we want. And then we have to actually choose what we want. And that means that it's going to upset other people sometimes. But you have to tell yourself that it's not the same thing as cruelty. You're not being cruel by saying no. Setting a boundary is unavoidable. It's necessary. You have to set a boundary, and sometimes that will hurt people. And cruelty is something different. Cruelty is where you're inflicting pain just because you want to. And that's not what you're doing. You're not being cruel. You're just taking care of yourself. And that's what we need to do. So, I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.